Elena scrolled through the listings on Airbnb, seeking a peaceful getaway. The seaside retreat caught her eye, an old Victorian house perched on a cliff overlooking the ocean. The photos showed spacious rooms with vintage decor, a cozy fireplace, and breathtaking views. The reviews were glowing, mentioning the house's charm and the host's hospitality. It seemed perfect. After a long drive, Elena arrived just as the sun began to set, casting an orange glow over the sea. The house stood majestically, though slightly weathered by the sea air. She retrieved the key from the lockbox and stepped inside, greeted by the scent of salt and aged wood. Elena explored the house, admiring the antique furniture and the detailed craftsmanship. She noticed a guest book on a table near the entrance. Flipping through it, she saw entries filled with praise for the house and its serene ambiance. One entry caught her attention. "Beware the whispers in the night." It seemed like a joke, so she shrugged it off. After unpacking, she made herself a cup of tea and settled in front of the fireplace with a book. The crackling fire and rhythmic sound of the waves soon lulled her into a state of relaxation. She almost forgot the strange warning until she heard it, a faint whisper. At first, she thought it was the wind, but the whispers grew louder, more distinct, words she couldn't quite make out. She turned off the music she had playing on her phone and listened carefully. The whispers seemed to come from the walls themselves. Elena's heartbeat quickened. She stood up and walked around the house, trying to locate the source. The whispers followed her, sometimes sounding like they were right beside her ear. Panic set in as she realized she was completely alone, miles away from the nearest neighbor. Desperate for a rational explanation, she convinced herself it was just her imagination. She went to bed, hoping to sleep off the eerie experience, but the whispers grew louder in the darkness, filling the room with their unsettling presence. Unable to sleep, Elena decided to investigate. She grabbed her flashlight and ventured into the basement, a place she hadn't yet explored. The air was damp and cold, and the stone walls seemed to close in around her. As she descended the stairs, the whispers intensified, turning into cries of anguish. In the corner of the basement, she saw a small door she hadn't noticed before. It was slightly ajar. With a trembling hand, she pushed it open and found a hidden room. Inside, there were old photographs and personal belongings scattered around, as if someone had left in a hurry. Among the clutter, she found a diary. The entries were disturbing, detailing the life of a woman named Margaret who had lived there decades ago. Margaret wrote about her abusive husband and her plans to escape. The last entry was incomplete, ending with, "He's coming. If I don't make it, I hope someone will find this." And a loud bang echoed through the basement, and Elena dropped the diary, her flashlight flickering. She felt a cold breath on her neck and spun around, but no one was there. The whispers were now screams, pleading for help, for release. Terrified, Elena ran back upstairs, slamming the basement door behind her. She grabbed her phone to call for help, but there was no signal. The whispers were everywhere now, filling every room, every corner of the house. She had to leave. Grabbing her keys, she rushed to the front door, only to find it wouldn't open. The windows were stuck too, as if an invisible force was trapping her inside. The whispers turned into sinister laughter, mocking her attempts to escape. In a final act of desperation, she grabbed a fireplace poker and smashed a window, cutting her hand in the process. She climbed through the shattered glass, the whispers following her outside. She ran to her car and sped away, not daring to look back. As she drove away, the house loomed in her rearview mirror, a dark silhouette against the rising moon. The whispers faded, but the fear remained. Elena never spoke of that night, and the seaside retreat remained listed on Airbnb, waiting for its next unsuspecting guest.